And what a treat we have to have Ganesh Rajagopalan here today. He is going to go, yes, let's hear it for him. He's going to take a couple minutes here to get set up. No introduction from this crowd, but Ganesh is a contemporary master musician of Indian classical music, a violin maestro, and the only Indian violin player to have ever won a Grammy. Yes. He performed at our annual event. He brought the house down, and today we are privileged to have a fireside conversation that's going to be moderated with Asia Society Seattle Advisory Council member Sital Kalantry. She's a tenured law professor, associate dean, and founder and director of the RoundGlass India Center here at Seattle University. Please welcome Sital. They're going to chat, they're going to play some music, and I hope everybody here has a great time. Yeah. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, Sital.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Really appreciate being here. This is going to be such an exciting collaboration between the Asia Society and SAM to produce this wonderful, wonderful event. I feel very honored to be sitting next to this musical genius. Usually the person who sits here might be singing or playing, but I will spare you that. So, what I wanted to ask you to start, Ganeshji, you have once said that music is a language for you, and I would love for you to play something for us that you identify most with, and maybe to start speaking in the language of music, and then you can translate it for us all in English afterwards.
Sure. Thank you, Sitalji. Thank you. It's my honor to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you, Asia Society. Thank you, Asian Arts Museum. I'm so glad that I'm here, and seeing you all is such a blessing. Thank you. So now I'm going to play a composition. Let me talk about it after playing. Okay. Yeah.
So I would love, that was just amazing and mesmerizing. I would love it if you could talk about how this piece represents who you are and translate it for us in English.
Okay. So as you were listening to the melody or the composition itself, you would have heard that the main melody is in a beautiful raga called Janaranjani. Jana means people, Ranjani means entertaining to the people, like the raga is called Janaranjani. So, but you could also hear some orchestral kind of backing on first half of it, and then there was some electronic beats coming in, and this is the kind of life that I have had. This actually represents me, because as a family, my dad was born in a small town near Cochin, where they speak Malayalam. The language is Malayalam. But he used to speak Tamil along with Malayalam. So Tamil was his mother tongue, but the Malayalam was the language in that place. My mother was born in Iran. But she hails from another small town called Palakkad. So she also spoke Malayalam and Tamil. So our language at home was called Talayalam. You know what that is? A combination of Tamil and Malayalam. So we were kind of that kind of a family, which we always had this fusion thing. And I was born in Kanpur in north of India, and and when I say Kanpur, it's just about 1,000 miles away from the south of India. But you might think, so what? But Kanpur, Delhi, these places, they have a different language altogether. The culture is different. The food is different. The clothes they wear is different. The dresses are different. Everything is different. And we were in Delhi for some time, and then in Bombay, and then we came to Chennai. We came to Chennai because my father, who is also my guru and my brother's guru, he loved Carnatic music so much. He wanted to achieve something for himself. He wanted to do something himself. He wanted to do something for himself in music. So he came to Chennai. But, everything doesn't go the way that you plan, right? So myself and my brother, even when we were in Delhi, we started learning from my dad, and we started playing. But we played in small events, like half an hour, 45 minutes. But when we came to Chennai, we had this wonderful opportunity, to play a concert, because my father's very, very good friend, he came home and he was listening to us playing, and he immediately said, no, these kids have to go on stage. So he actually took it upon himself to arrange a concert for us, which was a big thing. And we were supported by one of the great Mridangam players, who is called Madurai Krishna Iyengar. Mridangam is a double-headed percussion instrument. It's a beautiful instrument. Very Carnatic music instrument. So he and the chief guest was one of the greatest vocalists in Carnatic music. Her name is Srimati D.K. Pattamal. She was the chief guest for that event. She said she's going to be there only for 10 minutes or something, but she ended up staying for the entire concert and blessed us. So we were grateful. We are grateful for that. So that's how. And once we did that concert, it was a big success, and we started playing a lot. And he had to take care of us also. But so his career as a violin player took the back seat, and he actually pushed us into playing music. So that's why I'm saying the piece that I played beautifully connects to our life, because our life is full of these kind of influences. All my years, all my life.
Right. And your story really also represents the diversity of India, of so many different languages, so many different cultures. And in fact, you mentioned Karnataka music, right? There's sort of Hindustani music, which is from classical North Indian, and then this is more South Indian. But staying on the fusion theme, right? This is where this ties into this wonderful, spectacular award that you won with the Grammy through this collaboration that you had with multiple different people. So can you talk about that collaboration, how that came into being the Shakti group, and what was it like to be recognized in this way?
Okay, so as I was telling you previously, even from the beginning, as children, we were able to perform in many great venues and organizations and sabhas and other places. We were lucky to do it, and we were the luckiest because we were also able to perform with some of the greatest percussion players from the beginning. So right from the greatest mridangam players to the kanjira players to the mridangam players, to the tawil players, we have worked with everyone. So that actually helped us to collaborate with everyone, and also from North Indian part of the country. And the greatest collaboration, I would say, has always been with Ustad Zakir Hussain. And he has been a great influence and in our lives. And it is like, when you are playing in a small stage, he took us into playing in great arenas. So he showed us the world. So I'll tell you one thing. He was here in residency some years back. So and I was helping him with the Carnatic music class at the university. So after the class, one of those days, he asked me what I was doing. So I said, nothing, going home or something like that. So he said, okay, I'm now going to a school to give a small legdom or small talk of music. Why don't you join me? So he went there. He enthralled those children for about 30, 40 minutes. That was an eye-opener, how he could do that as such a great man he was. And he was able to do that. And from there to Carnegie Hall, I've traveled with him. So and that's how Zakir Bhai is. So he kind of opened my eyes to what music can do for anyone who is open to listening to it. So, and that is how I would say, thanks to him, I got into Shakti. What happened was, the day I was, the day was one of those days in Northwest. I was going on stage for Northwest Folk Life here in Seattle. I get a message from Zakir Bhai, and it says, Ganesh ji, do you want to join Shakti? We are regrouping again. Will you be able to join it? So with that message, I went on stage, just replied saying yes. And Chandra was there on that day. I just showed him that. And then he said, wow, why don't you reply and then go on stage, he said. So I said, okay, yes, why not? Yeah, sure, why not? So that's how it's all happened. But you know what? I'll tell you one thing. A musician like me, there have been so many musicians who have grown listening to Shakti. Not only that, they've learned Shakti pieces. But I never knew one piece of Shakti before. I've heard Shakti, yes. I've enjoyed that music, but I've not learned the composition as such. The great challenge for me was to learn the compositions to play it with them. Because they have played it thousands of times. I've not played it. So that was the greatest challenge for me, to learn all of them before the concert and play. I think, but it was, I learned so much playing those compositions, the beauty of it, how John G has composed. It was a great education for me, learning.
Yeah, that's an amazing, combination of Western and Indian Eastern classical music, which also brings me to something that people might be interested in hearing a little bit more about. The instrument you play itself is a fusion, right? Or a transplant. It's not usual, like it's not traditional, super traditional. South Indian music dates thousands of years ago. So talk a little bit about how you started to play sort of classical music, Western violin coming from Italy in the 16th century.
I told you in the beginning, I'm full of influences and inspirations and everything.
So yeah, and how did the violin come to be in South Indian music?
If we talk about violin in Carnatic music, I think it's credited to great Vidwan called Baluswami Dikshitar. He was the one. He's credited for that's what I learned. But there's another story to it. But let's talk about this. I think around 1800s. From then on, he was the first one to learn it from one of the violinists, English violinists who was there at that point of time. So he learned it from them, and then he kind of changed it to suit the Carnatic music idiom, because in Carnatic music, there's a lot of differences between how we look at the violin in Western music and in Carnatic music. Because first thing, I'll tell you, you will be surprised to know that we don't play violin acoustic in Carnatic music at all. It is always amplified. So the tone, texture, very important. How the violin is made is very important, but volume is not at all important. Volume, it should suit the mic. That's what it is. So in Carnatic music, and one more thing is the tuning part of it. The tuning is more like viola, cello sometimes, because it's more like an accompanying instrument, either to a male vocalist or a female vocalist. So the male vocalist, the baritone voice and all that, it's more like a cello's tuning. If it's a women vocalist, then it is going to be like, the other part, it's going to be higher. So it's very different and so many great violinists have been there in Carnatic music idiom. And I would like to mention one musician, Mysore T. Chaudhaya. His native place is Tirumukkuda. Okay? So in that place, there was, why I said was, there has been a precedent, and also that violin has been there in India, which predates the colonial kind of gift. So there are examples of sculptures in a place called Agastishwara Temple in Trimukuta, where there is a sculpture of a person playing the violin. And there is, in Srirangapatna, there is a painting which has a violin player and the violin being played. And in Chidambaram temple, which is a very, very old temple, we have a sculpture of a woman playing the violin. So, and that why all string instruments in Indian music, they are called veena. All stringed instruments are called veena. So this used to be called as dhanur veena. So violin was this kind of instrument which was there at that point of time was called dhanur veena or bahu veena. So bahu is the bow. So a lot of people from India, they say the bow came from the word bahu. So that's a possibility, they say. So violin has been there, but this instrument, that is the violin coming from the West. There are great musicians who have played on it and given it this stature, because now it's a traditional instrument of Carnatic music now. Because there's no Carnatic music without the violin support. Because in every Carnatic music you see, you have violin as the support melodic instrument.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that and sharing the potential roots in India of the original roots of the violin, possibly. One thing I also wanted to talk to you about is your current work that you're doing. You came to Seattle. You're really involved in the community, in teaching, in imparting this knowledge. So I'd love to know how and why you like to teach. I'm obviously also a teacher, but it's very different. When I'm teaching my law students, I love seeing them learning how to be advocates. But what do you love about teaching?
I teach a lot of these young kids, because I want to shape them into something. So when I see their bright eyes and the smile, that's enough for me to sit there for an hour and teach them. And the main thing is, I'm just amazed at how much interest these kids show. And it's so beautiful to see them progress, especially when they take it up really seriously and go. When I say 1 hour practice, they do 2 hours of practice and come back and play it like 100% or even 200% sometimes. I'm just overwhelmed, and I feel so good that these kids are there. Some of them now, they are like 14, 15, they want to take up music as their career, what else do a teacher want, So it's just amazing to see them blossom into something in front of your eyes, and it's just amazing, and I feel really good about it.
When you play, you're completely in a trance, it seems. So I'd love to hear about how playing and how you feel and how music impacts you.
Wow. Okay. So let me tell you a story.
Great.
Okay, this happened because I want to connect this story with about what I think about music and the impact of music, okay? So when we were very young and TV had just come into India, okay? That was a time, a very long back, in the late 70s. So we were pleading with our dad because he would say, no TV. TV is completely waste of time. Don't do it.
And now we say no iPhone.
No, no social media.
Social media.
Yeah, at that time he would get angry if we say TV and all that. But my mother was on our side. She would just go on and plead for us. So he put a condition. So if you want to buy the TV, buy it yourself. We were like 11, 12.
I should have told my kids that too.
So, this concert happened after that in about a month's time or something. I don't remember exactly. This concert happened. And there was a huge crowd, about 1,000 people at least. Any Chennite here knowing Appar Swami Kovil? Appar Swami Kovil is a very beautiful temple in the heart of the city, Mylapore, the Carnatic Mecca. Mylapore is the Carnatic Mecca of that. So people there know what music is all about. So we were playing and there was a huge crowd. And after a point, there was this big silence because we were transiting from one song to the other, one raga to the other. So between that, it was a lull, there was silence. And suddenly it was one person who was coming forward, was slowly coming forward, and everybody was looking at him as to what he was going to do. So he came down and he said like this, and he put 10 rupees in front of us. We were all amazed, like he said, like he did that and he went away. And after that, you won't believe, so many from the audience, they also came and gave some money. So it was like we had quite a bit of money on that day. But I tell you, 10 rupees is a lot of money in the late 70s. It might be like nothing now, but it was quite a lot at that point of time. So we told our dad, yes, please get our TV. Why I'm saying this is, on that day, when we played, we didn't play there was no words. There was just the violin, mridangam, and a ghatam, all instruments. And we were playing. There was some emotional connect, I think, which was binding both us and the audience. And that's always, that thought was always there in my mind. What is that? What is that connect? What is it, that impact that the music has on not only me whom I'm performing, because when I practice, I get a lot of these time I just lose track of time, lose track of time and space and everything. It's just like suddenly it's like 2 hours, 3 hours already playing but playing like that in a concert is going to be very tough. But you have some kind of an impact with the audience that they connect, and these kind of things happen, where somebody is so enthralled with your music that they come and then gift you with something. It's a beautiful thing. And I've always felt that this is something very sacred, very divine, that connection is kind of divine. The divinity in me is connecting with the divinity with you. So I think the music percolates everyone there, and then we are all having a very great time, playing music and enjoying music at the same time. And that's what I think, that's what led me into thinking that these are maybe the sarigama padani that we have in our music are mantras. It's like when you play them, when you chant them, you get the siddhi. Meaning you get the bliss out of it. So and that is how I felt that this can be used as a technique. Why not use this as a technique to do something more than just play concert? More like, meditation, more like an interactive session where I can sing something and maybe the audience can sing back.
Right. Well, we would love to hear how you're using music to heal all the divisions in our society that exist in the US and India, and how it can help us with also being one with ourselves and
Lovely.
meditating. So
Lovely, yeah.
can you
Are you all
demonstrate?
ready? Just 5 minutes. Yeah. Let's try this. Are you all able to listen to the drone? Right? Yes? I just want you to close your eyes and listen just to the drone and forget everything. Please repeat after me. Re, sa. Re, re, sa. Re, sa. Da, sa. If you close your eyes, don't open it, just be listening to that tambura for about 15 seconds and then open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was, how does everyone feel? I loved that, the words don't matter in a way. It's just the repetition and it's the group energy that we have. And
Yes.
it's sort of disconnected from faith or religion, it's just that I loved how you brought everyone together.
Yeah, this is what it is. I mean, in our Shastras, it says the music can take you to the doorstep of Brahmananda, meaning that you're on the doorstep of bliss. So when you go to bliss, there is no difference between you and the bliss. So that's why they say the doorstep of bliss. So when you go there, if you understand what it is, you will be in bliss already. That's what it is, and that's what music can do to every one of us. And thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you.
So I think we're going to have one more piece by you, which with your accompaniment.
yeah,
so
sure.
we're excited to
Yeah,
hear
I want
that.
to call Sri Ram. Yeah, he's coming.
Yes, he's going to come. Let's thank Sital for moderating that. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much,
Sitalji.
Sital.
That was.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for beautifully sharing Ganesh's journey with us. And yes, would you like to call Sri Ram up yourself? Go
Yes,
ahead.
Sri Ram, my dear friend, please come.
Yes, one final treat for everybody tonight. As they're getting set up here, I do want to thank again the Seattle Asian Art Museum, Alaska Airlines, all of you for joining us today. Our next Sam Talk series is on May 15th. We have artist Jen Chong Bing and musician Daniel Pak. Tickets are on sale on our website, so go ahead and buy those, and we hope to see you back here soon. You should have gotten a museum ticket from Sam, so you can come back to visit the museum at any time. And if you have a pink sticker, join our sponsor reception next door, outside the doors and to the right. If you want to join our sponsored reception next time, reach out to anyone on the team and we can get you signed up for membership. But thank you again. And Ganesh, are you ready to go? All right, we got Ganesh and Sri Ram. Please welcome them.
Dim, takita dim. Dim, takita dim. Takadim, takita dim. Katakadina dim, takita dim. Katakadina dim dim, takita dim dim. Takadim dim, takita dim dim. Dim dim, takita takadim dim, takita takadim dim, takita takadim dim dim. Dim dim, takita takadim dim, takita takadim dim, takita takadim. Tadim takan tadim tadom tadim tadom tadim tadom. Tadim tadom tadim tadom tadim tadom tadim tadom. Tadim takita tadim takita tadim takita tadim takita ta takadibi takita takadibi takita takadibi takita takadibi takita ta takadibi takita takadibi takita takadibi takita takadibi takita ta
ta kata ga chedu ta kata ga chedu ta kata ga chedu ta titta ta kata ga chedu ta kata ga chedu ta kata ga chedu ta titta ta ta kata ga chedu ta kata ga chedu ta titta tagati bita ga chedu 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 tagati bita ga tagati bita ga chedu tagati bita ga chedu tagati bita ga chedu.
Thank you, Sriram. Thank you. And thank you, Asia Society. It was such a great pleasure for me to be here and talking to you, discussing with you, and also sharing my music and my journey with you. It's been a fantastic time. I hope you had a good time too. Thank you so much for being here. And good night. Thank you.